Hello, I'm Luke Moyle, and this is my CPS archival object discussion. I'll start off quickly by going through my archival object and sort of discussing my thoughts on what I did and what made me want to do this for my project. Yeah. So my CPS project idea sort of grew from weeks 5 and 7 because those weeks I created 2D animations and I really enjoyed my time doing that, and I really wanted to explore that medium a little bit more. So I decided that since this was going to be a much larger animation, that I would attempt to rotoscope it, which is recording myself and drawing frames over the top of it. So what I did is I recorded all the videos and then stitched them all together in Premiere Pro, and then once it was all stitched together, I actually went through and sort of took screenshots of each frame that I wanted, which came out to about 197 frames, which I then drew over. After that, I went back to each of these frames where I was going to add a week, such as week 1, 2, 3, yada yada, and I just sort of pasted the final product in, as well as my sort of response to the week's theme. And then each frame I used the warp and distort tool in Procreate to make them sort of fit the page the way I liked. Although, as you can see in some of these pages, the artwork has become quite pixelated and really didn't end up the way I really wanted it to look. After doing that, I moved it back onto Premiere Pro and found various page turning sounds. I found I really am not well versed in Premiere Pro, so I looked up a tutorial on how to do that really funky, silly looking transition just here. Oh, disappeared. This one. And I found that really generic. I really wanted that really silly sort of daydreaming sound effect there as well. After all of that, I did a sort of sad I sort of spoke over the animation and narrated myself really sadly, because my theme was that I wanted to sort of make it feel like a rom-com sort of scene where a character, myself, was looking back on my time in my relationship, my partner, my girlfriend being CPS sort of, and looking back at the times we had and all the things we learnt, and well, it's a breakup, so act all sad. Just a little bit of comedy in there, really. I think overall it turned out okay. But yeah, I think I really enjoyed this process, just like in week 5 and 7. To take you back through each of my weeks, just to give you a little bit of a longer look at each one, I actually in the video extended a particular frame by 5 seconds each, not only to speak over it myself, but also to give the observer a little bit of time to look at both the image and the read the week's theme observation thing. So this is week 1, which was observation, which was sitting and watching things. Week 2 was tinkering, learning a new skill. Week 4 was found objects, and I chose a little cactus candle on my bench, which I chose to turn into a little cactus spaceship. Week 4 was it was called Place. It was about, how a location has character, not just a character having character. Week 6 was probably my least strong week. It was about object-oriented ontology, sort of showing something's life outside of humans' interaction. I just honestly did something a little bit generic, which was, I enjoyed making it, but it was this plant sort of growing by itself with no human interaction, and I think it's a little bit slowed down here compared to the final product, but that's what it is. Week 7 was time. I sort of made a little funny thing because I was dealing with internet providers a lot at this point in time, and they were keeping me on hold and waiting. It was very annoying. So I made this short little animation of a man on the phone and asking him to wait. He's calling about life insurance, and he waits that long that he turns to a skeleton. It was fun to make. And another reason I did my archival object this way is a 2D animation, because I enjoyed it. Week 8 was, well, the theme was character, so I explored the character that I'm using for my Folio 1, in Studio 1, sorry. Explored his backstory. Week 9 was one that I really, really thoroughly enjoyed. It was force, whereas I forced myself to have 3 different rules, so I chose to have very limited color choice, which was I tried to limit myself to 3 colors, and then I used those 3 colors to make an environment, which I'm really not good at. Yeah, so that's that week. And my final page was just a goodbye page because I accidentally animated one too much, and I think it's also very cute. So yeah, moving on to the conclusion. The conclusion is that, yeah, I really enjoyed weeks 1 and 10. I think they are the ones that are going to benefit my art career the most. Just sitting and observing new things and drawing new things, as well as forcing myself to do new things, giving myself a couple of rules, like, minimal detail, environment in 3 colors, like I did in week 9 or 10. And I think that would help me create new things that I really wouldn't have created before. And weeks 5 and 7, because I really, really enjoyed the animation aspects. Yeah. Alright, well, thank you for listening. This is my archival object, and good luck next semester, everyone.